Good morning, everybody. Welcome out. I am DruStew. This is the replay. We're at the South Point Hotel and Casino, and sitting up here with me, I got Mr. T. Woolman, Rhen Richard, Levi Lord, and we're going to do a little replay action here this morning. We are 3 rounds deep of the National Finals Rodeo so far, 4th round going on tonight. We've got the Open Riata Sale and Open Roping going on here at the finale. T-Bone, we got a lot of stuff going on here in Vegas, don't we?
It keeps you really busy all week long. There's something for everybody.
Everybody, man. What have you roped here at the finale yet?
No, I roped yesterday in the Bloomer 13, and I didn't do any good there.
Man,
but, we start tomorrow. Maybe.
Tomorrow,
yeah.
Getting her dialed in.
Yes, sir.
So yesterday I found it out last night. The head horse that won the 14.5 was the same head horse that won the 13.5 yesterday, and it was a father and son from Mexico, and that horse alone. Yeah, Jorge and Orlando Uregi, and I think that horse won $140,000 yesterday or something, $135,000.
Looks like a guy need to borrow that one.
You need to borrow Sarley. Yeah, I think so. So, man, it was a pretty cool day over here. So, but Levi, it's about time we got some piece of the action, huh, old buddy?
Yeah, I mean, not the start we wanted. It's a tough week out here. You know, everybody wants to come and do good right off the bat. It makes it a little easier. We didn't do that. Obviously, Dustin had a little horse trouble the first night, and then I missed a pretty good chance the second night. But to get it turned around somewhat early in the week and get some money on the board and still have quite a few steers left to run feels good.
Yeah. I mean, you guys rope so good. There's no doubt your guys' ability and your talent, how good you roped all year long. And like you say, it is what it is. There's only 6 teams that are left in the average right now. A lot can happen over the next 7 rounds, don't you think?
Yeah, we haven't quite snuck back into the average yet, but we're going to try. You know, probably not thinking about it yet.
Yeah.
We're just going to go as fast as we can, which we like doing.
Yeah.
We don't have no problem doing that, don't seem like. So just try to get a few more rounds under our belt, and then maybe we can sneak back into a little bit of average money at the end of the week, which seems to usually play a pretty big part in the world title. So we're just trying to get a few more on the board.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, so we were talking here a little bit before we turned the camera on. You went and listened to Snoop Dogg last night?
Yeah, Snoop Dogg, Rodeo Vegas. Stayed up pretty late. Didn't get done too long ago, but it was sweet. It was fun.
I thought you were wearing the same stuff you were healing in last night. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, though, huh? We were talking about going, but what Brian and I were like, man, we need to go. I was texting Casey Jones, like, we need to go, but I'm pretty sure we wouldn't have had this show. About 100% chance.
Yeah, Casey, he does a good job over there having the after party for everybody. Rodeo Vegas, it's really taken off and always has some good entertainment over there. It's in a new venue at the Resorts World, and I stay over there, so it was right there handy, and it was a good time.
Gotcha. Rhen, what have you had? What'd you have going on yesterday?
We were jackpotting. We did the preview for the horse sale.
Mm-hmm.
So it was busy. I had the 14, then run over to the Open, and then come back and rode my horse through the preview. So
gotcha.
We
What do you have one horse in the sale?
Yes, I have a 2-year-old that we're running through there.
Mm-hmm. What's that horse?
She's by a horse called Winner's Version, and she's out of an own daughter, Corona Cartel. We kind of own the bottom side 3 or 4 generations deep, and she's one of those horses that I feel like can go on and be something big with any kind of luck. So
with that cross right there, what is she going to be at? That head horse, is that what we're looking for with those horses?
I mean, most of the Winner's Versions don't get huge, and with that Corona being on the bottom side, you know, she'll probably top out at maybe 15-2, probably 15-1. But
just perfect size.
Yeah, I mean, for what I like a head horse to be, she'll be fast-footed and about the right size.
You know, so heard you guys talking off camera, and Brian and I were chatting about it, like, wish we'd had it mic'd up just talking about head horses. You guys were having a pretty cool conversation over there, asking T about best head horses you've ever ridden or your favorite ones. T, let's talk about that a little bit. Like, take us back to your prime and the horses that you had, because, man, back in the day, that's what we were talking about, is what horses you were riding.
So, everybody says you have only one good horse your whole lifetime. Well, that's not true, because I've had several. I bought a horse when I started my career from a friend of mine, won 2 world championships on him. I went a little different route for a few years, and swapped back and bought a bay mare from Ricky Melman and won a world championship on her. And then Jackie and I raised a horse that we called Megazord. Was out of Dash for Cash mare, and then out of a horse called Jet Toro. And he became horse of the year. And then I had several more colts out of that mare by some driftwood studs that Quattro Light had down there. And it was a great combination for me because I decided at one time I wanted to raise them, and then I decided I didn't want to raise them. I had mares, and so I give my mares to Quattro, and I just got a colt every other year from them, and had a head horse of the BFI and out of that mare, and she was a little bitty ugly looking mare, but she produced great horses.
Great producer, huh? Man, and the other thing, like what we were talking about yesterday with you, and what I'm hearing right there is the running bred in these head horses for sure.
Well, that's what, I was asking T. Like, if you think about the greats, even going back 40 years ago, like, either they were full run or a lot of run in them. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool to hear, that even now in today's roping, like, look at Andrew Ward's horse. I mean, he's probably lasted as long as any head horse here in the last 5-6 years. And, I mean, he rides him in every setup. And so I think there's something to it.
Yeah, you think it's working, huh? I mean, that's what your guys' program, and like you say, looking back there, it's something that I think maybe guys forgot about a little bit or didn't pay attention to, but now more and more when you do put it all together, you guys are absolutely right. And then getting into where this deal's going, we've talked about it up here on every single show. I mean, the time and the effort and the research that you guys are doing and the trial and error, there's got to be a lot of that too, isn't there, Rhen? I mean, you guys have been doing it for 20 plus years now. There's some trial and error on those crosses too, isn't there?
I mean, I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes when I say this, but, the days of papers not mattering are over.
Over.
You can you can look at our program, and whether it's racehorse, barrel horse, or in the team roping, like, the best ones we've had go back to a certain line, and I've been riding these 2-year-olds all year, haven't rodeoed, and same deal. Like, you can kind of trace the bloodlines back to that certain mare, and those are the horses that we like the most. So, yeah, there's something to it for sure.
Absolutely. There's definitely something to it for sure. Well, we appreciate what you guys are doing for sure on that side of things, and with the futurities and everything. Today we're going to be showcasing a bunch of those horses like your 2-year-old. I think we got about 50 other horses that we're doing. Riata changing the game. All the other futurities changing the game. I think we're in a really good spot. But I think let's dive back into the roping. Guys, I want you to go ahead and break down. We've got our top 3 runs from last night. We had a 3-8 and a tie at 3-7. We're going to go ahead and bring in these guys right here. Caleb and Junior, they were 3-7. They won $30,000, split the round with you guys, with Dustin and Levi. And then Andrew and Colin, 3.8. And JC and Buddy getting in there, Cody and Hunter, Clint and Jake, and Eric and Paul. Eric and Paul have been having a great rodeo so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at these runs. Here's Andrew Ward, Colin Vaughn on. Levi, tell us what you're seeing right here.
Man, Andrew is just amazing. Like Rhen said, that horse is one of a kind. When you see that horse in the summertime, and I've seen him for the last 5 years, you don't think like, wow, that would be a great NFR horse, because the pattern that he runs in the summertime is kind of out the front and kind of maybe a little bit down the arena. But every year, this time he gets him dialed down to where he'll come back and still get faced, and he's just got such a good go in here. I bet if you go back the last 3 or 4 years, he's turned probably maybe the most steers of anybody right there for money. And then Colin, he hasn't been here in a while, but as solid as ever, just like he's never left. Got a big open loop and throws a really good catch loop. So that was just a pretty easy looking 3-8. Colin even maybe went one more and still went 3-8. So that looked pretty easy for him.
Colin just looks real patient when he heels, doesn't he? Like, that's the thing. When I watch Colin heel, he always just looks like just patient.
Yeah, he don't ever get in a hurry, I mean, two gold buckles, he just kind of does his thing. He's got that big open loop and make sure he gets a lot of rope on the ground, and that's a good combo right there, Andy and Colin.
All right, we'll watch this, and we're going to go to you guys here. So this is the one we've been looking for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, good to get on the board. Dustin rode his horse that he rode most of the wintertime the first round. It just didn't go great, so made a call to Aaron Senegit in. We're really thankful to him and James for loaning us that head horse. He's run 2 steers on him and turned them both in the same spot, so it's looking like it's working pretty good. I mean, for that horse to get faced right there where the steer's going a little bit left, I heeled him pretty good, but without that horse jumping into the wall like that, we probably don't get finished, and it goes from a 3.7 to a 4.2, which 4.2 is no money and 3.7 is 30,000. So that head horse made a lot of difference right there, and really thankful for those guys to let us use him right here when we were in need.
All right, here's Caleb and Junior. Both you guys coming with a little bit of redemption. T-Bone, what do you see in here when you watch these guys?
It's a really good run. So the main thing at the Todd Smack is scoring, because if you get out, you knock the barrier out, it's a layup every night. I mean, really and truly, if you miss it 6 inches, some rodeos might hurt you, but here if you miss it 6 inches, they're so far away from you. And so if you watch all these runs, them guys were right in the barrier, and when they are, they're just maybe a coil, maybe not even a coil away, and then it gets tight, steer handles good, the heeler's just finished, and gives you extra 3 or 4 foot, 5 foot of room to face. That horse looked like he got just a skosh weak right there, and then he had to kind of pull out, drag around on the face a little bit. But they're great runs, great heel shots. Junior got around, finished good. They all do. I mean, the top 15 the healers in the world, they all finish good,
Yeah.
Like Levi said, Colin looked like he took one more swing, 3.8. Junior set him up really well, and then Levi.
Yeah. So, you guys that are backed in the box on the head and side here, I was talking to a guy yesterday, and he was asking me, which is the worst person in the world to ask, about why the margin why is it so hard to head at the NFR when everybody thinks it should be easy to head at the NFR? You know what I mean? And it's that, you guys have heard that before, because everybody said it, well, it's a short score, it's got to be easy. But isn't that margin for error just even smaller here at the final? Like, you're either on it or you're off it.
Right. So it's like a timing almost. It's not really scoring to me when we come here, because it's more like timing and getting your swings up. And these guys got their ropes up way faster than I did back in the day. Our steers were a little bit bigger and a little bigger horns, but still, it was all, for me, at the NFR, it was a timing. The steer left, and I was bringing my rope as I was leaving, and they've got a swing off as they're leaving.
Yeah.
And so I would go a little bit further and try to be shorter rope and handle them. And it is all about the score, because if you miss it, they're so far away from you.
Yeah.
That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, hey, you don't want to reach because you run out of room too fast. And if they go left, you're in a bind. If they go right, you're in a bind.
Yeah.
And it's a little different than any place I ever roped at. And I liked it there. It's great. People on top of you, enthusiasm. It's loud, and it gets your heart rate up real quick. But it's all about the head horse scoring and finishing. There's a lot of stuff can happen. Because a time starts and a time stops.
Yeah.
And so it's a start and finish.
Yeah.
And if you got one that can really face and take a step back, if he has a little bit of room and can take a step back, they'll pop that flag every time.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think,
I
Rhen?
think one thing that probably gets overlooked here a little bit is the healers being able to get a good start. I mean, it's super important for the header, but if your healer can't get a clean go, it really don't matter. You know, there's times where Jeremy and he had a horse that was probably one of the best ever, but he was a little quirky in the box. And it was, that was one thing that he was always trying to get going. And just those 2 runs I just watched, both heelers they're off the corner. You got to have a heel horse that doesn't want to back up and find the corner, but, leave off your hand. Both guys, Levi, even Colin right there, like they were ahead of the run as well. So we don't really have time as headers to stick it on them and wait. So it's just, like you said, there's such a fine line there of the room, the marge for error is so small on both ends. Yeah. So, it's crazy to sit here and watch these runs. It looks easy, but it's not.
It's not. Levi, you guys got to be riding the razor's edge, just like kind of following up with what Rhen just said right there, because we don't want to push them left, but that step to the right makes it all happen a little bit faster right there in the corner, but then it can leave you a step behind too. Like, talk about that right there.
Yeah, I think Rhen made a great point. To have a fast heel horse, or at least a horse that'll get you a go and get to a good spot here, is maybe just as important as the head side, and it's not like that anywhere else we go. For whatever reason, this setup brings out kind of shows holes in your horses, and you got to have everything going the right way. Just like take Dustin, it's 2 under, and he's probably a lot more, and he'll tell you this, he's more comfortable at San Antonio than here, even though here's a 2-foot shorter barrier. So like, people don't really comprehend that right. It's like, we can go sooner here, but it's harder to rope, That doesn't really make sense to a lot of people, but it's just the timing and everything happens so fast here. Like on the hillside, Dustin can go at the bottom of his knot and then throw 20 feet. Well, I can only go when he nods, so we're leaving at the same time, and then I got to get all the way to the end of the turn. I can't outrun his head rope. So it's a really tough place. My horse is almost too good in the box here. Like, I've spent the last couple months getting him ready, like trying to get him to leave the box.
Get him to fire.
Yeah,
right
because
there, like
he just stands so flat-footed and so good in the box. I'm like, I wish he would wake up a little bit,
Yeah.
But he's done really good. He hasn't really messed up yet this week, and but it's tough. You got to have everything working together to have it come together in there. And when it does look simple, because it's really short score. And like T said, if you can get a good start, they're just right there and lay your ropes on them. But if you don't, then it gets to looking pretty hard.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at what the average is looking like right now after threes. We take a look in here. So Eric and Paul are in there with a 12-6 on 3. These guys have been roping a great game. Brent Hall and Caden, I'm pretty proud of this kid right there. 17-2 on 3. Clay and Colby, 19-3. Luke and Travis are in there with a 20.9. Derek and Jonathan, a 24.3. Those guys are roping good. I think we've got 6 total teams that have got all 3 down is what it's looking like right now. So after 3 rounds, we got 6 guys total down. Let's go ahead and take a look at the world standings right now. As it sits today, T-Wade with 269 after those first 2 go-round wins. Dustin with a 241. Caleb at 217. Coleman and Brenton. Still anybody's game with the money that we have coming up for sure. And on the Heelan side, Wesley's on top. Levi, you're in second right there by just a little over 20,000. Junior's in there, 228,000. Logan and Caden having himself a great NFR so far, moving up to 5th right there. It's pretty dang exciting for him. Hey, so I have a question. How do you how do you know how you're roping every night?
It goes from 15 to 1, and then it drops 2 every night. So 15 goes first the first night, and then 13, 11, so on. And then I think the last round is world standings coming in. So
last round is bottom to top.
1 through 9, it just circles around, and then the last round goes from world standings.
I have been lying to people on how that works for about 20 years. I just found out. I had no idea, and it was like it must be how much they're winning here, like, because some nights it kind of looks like that. But yeah, I've been lying to people.
Yeah, you got to follow
that how it was?
It used to be. So when the first years we started coming, you wanted to do really good at the first because they went on money one. So if you won the first day money, you're going to go last for a long time.
Really?
And then, you know, if you kept placing long, you just go to the bottom. You're just going to rope last. So, you know, like some nights, you just got to go knock one down to get money. And if you'd already won some, so it just made it better.
Honestly, that's what I thought. So I really haven't been lying.
No, that's the way it was. Perfect. So if you was doing this about 40 years ago.
Yeah, I was young.
You would have been perfect.
Oh man, does that just they just try to roll it through, give everybody that shot of having to be first out?
Yeah, I think just keep it fair, and you can draw bad sometimes. Here you follow the same team every night, so like we followed T-Wade the first 2 nights, and we're gonna follow him the rest of the week. And I know he had a mess up last night, but I don't guess they'll have too many more of them in. So it's good. It doesn't matter really, you know, if the team in front of you is doing good, it just makes you want to do all that more good. So yeah, that's how they do it.
Well, as we get ready to go into tonight, everything healthy, horse is good, everything's feeling good.
Yeah, everything good. Like just trying to trust what we got. That head horse feels good. I think that's going to make a lot of difference for us, and my horse seems to be doing good, so it's all good.
What pen of steers are we in tonight?
This will be the first rerun. First round steers, and they did it a little bit different this year. Like I almost thought the first round steers have been the best steers. Really, I don't know what you guys thought, but like the third round steers is supposed to be, which they were good too. All the steers are great. Bobby Joe does a great job. He's done it for however long I've been coming, and even before that. But the first round set of steers is usually pretty strong and all there, and this year they're a little bit better. So to get around them 4 times, I think it'll get pretty fast.
Well, I mean, congratulations on a great run last night. Good luck for the rest of the week, my friend. And yeah, try to stay out of the Snoop Dogg concerts a little bit, would you? Well, everybody, T-Bone, Rhen, thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. It's an early morning here today at the replay. We have got a big day here at the South Point Hotel and Casino. We've got the Riata horse sale is going to be kicking off at 11 o'clock, and then we've got the open roping that's going to be coming up, brought to you by Riata right after that. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. If you are anywhere around Las Vegas, you want to come and see the way this arena is set up. You've never seen a horse sale like it. I mean, it looks like we're going to be going to Keeneland. T, did you walk over there and look at that? That's something.
I did look over there. I seen them last night building it, and then I was like, wondering what they're going to do. And then this morning when Brian brought me in, he said, look at this. And I'm like, wow,
it's something.
It is something to see.
Yeah, you need to walk over and look. It's
going to be
it's
going to be a show.
It's going to be a show. It's going to be a heck of a horse sale. I think they got right around 50 horses brought in there. We got some of the best people in the world bringing their horses in, like Rhen and Chad and Paige Turner brought some great horses. Trip Townsend has got a great horse. Holy moly. I mean, there's some good ones.
Did they say Snoop Dogg was an auctioneer?
Yeah, Snoop's going to da-da-da-da-da.
I hope he's buying one, too.
Yeah, if he brings his money for sure. Oh, man. Yeah, well, guys, thanks again for coming up here. We're got a great sale, and everybody, you can watch that open later today. That's going to be on WSTroping.com. For any of you that are Keycard or Keycard Max members, you can watch that, or you can also buy that live pay-per-view. It's just a little bit of money to watch all the greatest ropers in the world that are not down there roping with these guys at the Thomas and Mack. On behalf of everybody here, I am DruStew. This has been The Replay. We will catch you in a little bit, everybody.